Afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck Reynolds. I want to thank you for coming by this afternoon. The snow's gone, at least on my property, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon and it's 61 degrees. If it wasn't for the wind, you could be outside kind of getting a suntan. But we're not going to do that, so I've got another project in mind. And if you look at the mini high banker, or the geo high banker here, you can see I dressed her up a little bit. I've got a few stickers on it now. As you can see here, Secret Creek Prospecting, Tortuga Lisa, GS Prospecting, my sticker, and A3 Sky Warrior. I'm not sure if you can see A3 there. And on the other side I've got A&M. And what you see here, let's see, you probably can't see down there. Yeah, let's make you be able to see here. What you're looking at here is a 1 gallon bucket of dredge concentrate. If you look here, you can see it's really heavy black sand. And we're going to try to do a cleanup. And if you see my shirt here, kind of excuse it. I was welding in this shirt and it's full of holes. Shouldn't do that without having welding leathers on, but I did, so it's done anyhow. So anyhow, what we're going to try to do is run that concentrate through the geo high banker. And now their advertising claims a number that I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying I don't know how you would get to it. And they're talking a 500 minus. I don't know if this machine can do that, but we're going to try to clean up these cons and see just what we can get out of it. And we're going to do a recirculating system again. And I'm going to vary the level of the sluice this way. And see, I'll probably start out about maybe 3 degrees. I may use a, I don't know. I was going to do a pump controller, but I'm not sure on this. What exactly? We're going to use a 1100 gallon per hour pump, recirculate out of the big tub. And I've got another project I'm working on. I'm not sure I'm going to have it ready in time to do this, but it's going to try to keep organics out of the pump and out of the sprays on his. It's a different system. We did the one with the heavy wire around the bucket and the window screen, and it worked until you emptied your bucket of the tailings or the concentrates that's coming down. Because the bucket was like there. So what would happen here is this bucket would get full and you'd have to pull it out, and you'd have to pull it up out of the screen, and when you did that, then you had this organics everywhere. So being the thinker that I am, I thought, well, if that's what's happening, we'll go old school and do the lady stocking over top of the pump. And that was so restrictive that the pump wouldn't flow. And that really surprised me, because we used to do that all the time over foot valves. But these little pumps apparently can't handle that. So I've got another project in mind, and I'll show you when I get farther along with it. Hi guys, I'll be back. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a piece of snow anywhere on my property, and it's over 50 degrees already. So Arizona's back. So what I decided to do was move outside, and that's where I am at now, right outside my shop. Of course the sun's right in my viewfinder, so I can't see anything. But so what I've done, let's see, can you see back there? Yes you can. Okay. So what we're going to do here, I've changed pumps. I've changed to this other 1100, and I've got it on a bracket that keeps it off the bottom. So that's totally off the bottom, And I've got another thing I'm going to do as a screen later on, not with this, because I'm just going to recirculate this, and it's not real dirty material, you know, so you saw earlier. So got that. You can't see that bubble probably, so let me show you. Let's see. I might have to hand do this, so I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and if you can see this, this is an honest to God sluice level. As you can see here, it's a sluice level, and it's a bullet type of level, and it's showing I'm a little bit fast, and that's what I want. In the middle is 5 1/4 degrees of the bullet, and if you look here, I'm at, what am I at here? I'm I'm about 7 or 8 degrees. So that's a good starting point for what we're going to do, because we're going to take this material, and this has been screened. Has been screened quarter minus. It's been run through a dredge, and it's been cleaned up on site. So we're going to rescreen at least to a number 12, which is this guy. And if that isn't flowing good, we'll go to this number 20 screen. Show us the 20. Yeah, there it is. It's a 20. So I might just try the 20 to start with. Quarter's pretty big, but I just want to see if I can clean up some of this black sand. I've got tons of black sand with gold in it. So anyhow, that's what we're going to do today, or try to, and we'll see what happens. Okay, a slight change in plans. What I'm going to do is go from quarter minus to 12 minus here, and then if it's not running good, we'll go 20 minus into this bucket from this one. That's the plan. So let's do some of this while you're watching. And this is totally dry, which it will be wet before it goes in. So I'm going to move you over to the bucket here. If you look, now I'm down part way into this bucket, and this is the material. Let me back out just a touch. And this is how much 20 plus that there was. I'm not seeing anything in here, nothing nice and shiny that I'd like to see that was missed. But I'm going to go ahead and do that whole bucket first, and then we'll try running it at 12 minus, and I think that might be enough. Alright guys, the Lowe's Blue Little bucket, that's a 1 gallon bucket, is totally empty, as you can see. And this is the big 5. And it's probably a third full, and this other big Lowe's bucket you can see is probably that much also. It's about, I don't know, maybe a quarter full, and that's just all the rock and the plus 12. Alright, so we're going to go back into this bucket and we'll start her up. Alright, so almost everything is working good. That other pump was just too much for it, so I had to put my speed controller in. It's sitting over there on that white bucket. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. That's the speed controller. And it's about halfway, and I still got really good flow, and it's moving the black sand really well. But I was losing it off the back when I first fired it up. I had to put that in just to slow the water down. So anyhow, I'll let you watch a couple scoops here maybe. Alright, I've run this canopy here, so it's maybe a little dark for you, but we'll run a couple scoops to show you. It's clearing out good. It's going through the top well. I am losing water here, and I'm not 100% sure why, other than maybe it's, I don't know, I'm not sure why it is right now. I can't lower this hopper anymore because it's right on the edge here. So we're going to have to work with that and see what we can do about it. Maybe shorten those legs. And I'm just dumping whole scoops of this in there. It's running through well. Now this was dry just for the test, so I'm going to put some water in it and we'll start running it wet. Alright, be back. Alright, so the tabs are working like they should. You can see it's shooting the water here. This one's shooting it over here. This is coming right down the center. But right here, we're running down the punch plate somehow. I'm not sure how the water's getting over here. It looks like it is underneath here. It's hard to tell. And I just took about 1/4 of 5 out and put it back in there. So I think that's working good. I just got to figure out what to do with it because I'm still, I think I'm running way fast again. As you can see, let's slow it down a second. That's a little slower. And you can see the riffles are filling up rather quickly. We have some on the upper end there that would be your indicator mat if it was a mat type, not a drop riffle. But it's running good, running clear. It's retaining the water. The pump is working good, staying off the bottom. But it's going to have to run a lot slower than I thought it was going to have to run because this is almost 100% black sand. There's a little bit of blonde in it, you can see right here. And right here, just a little bit. But those ripples are getting pretty full already. So I might have to change the angle on this just a little bit. So we'll try that. We'll have some more wet. I dropped it down now. We're about 9 degrees, and I'm not sure that that's going to be enough. I might have to be faster than that. So we'll just try this. This isn't like running regular pay or regular, like even stuff out of a pay dirt bag. This is black sand concentrates out of a dredge box. So it's almost 100% black sand. Let me show you. Okay, if you look up here, what should be the indicator mat, and it isn't, but you can see that's all black sand, and you can see down here on the riffles are starting to load. You can still see it moving down here. Right there, you see it coming off. And my pumps, oh, I know what's the matter. I'll be back. I got to find a solution for this problem here. All this water running off, and that's why my pump was surging a little bit. It was getting low on water because I had about 1/2 of a 5 here, and that's unacceptable. So I'm going to have to do something up that when my legs come up, I need to get this hopper lower, and I can't get it there because it's sitting on the leg. So I'm going to cut a little bit off of that. That'll flatten this up, and I'm hopefully going to let that water drop down before it runs off. So anyhow, that's where we're at now. We're still moving material. Alright guys, here's the, I think it's the 3rd pan full. And you notice it's wet. But it runs good, and it's clearing out pretty good, and I'm at 10 degrees now. And it's just, the black sand is so heavy, it wasn't clearing. it was just building up on the drop ripple. And now we're about, we're down to right here in the bucket. So we're about 25%. Let me get some water. I guess I could have put this in a bucket and done this, but I had too many other little things I had to do. Keep checking on here, like how much water I'm losing and how these other modifications are working that I did. And so far so good. I'm not happy with how much water is coming off of here yet, but that's curable. Yeah, that clears out good now. That's going good. We're about half hour in. And it's looking a little better on that water, but not real a lot. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, the sun's changed position a little bit so I can pretty much see what's going on here. You can see up at the upper end, those riffles are fairly full, and there's a little bit of black sand. I don't know if you can make it out in that upper area, but it should be where a indicator mat would be. But for the most part, this is working good. You can see it exchanging down here at the bottom. All these riffles. Now remember, this material has all been run before, and it's been pulled out of the ground with a 3/8 suction dredge. And then it's been creekside panned with a 1/4 minus, and now we're at 12 minus, so it's 3 times finer than it was. And the gold in this should be approximately the same size, I would think. Maybe 20 minus, but I kind of doubt it. And if we don't get any color with this running at 12 minus, we'll go to 20 minus and see if we pick up more. Because all our tailings are going here from the pond, so they're in this bucket, so we're going to have them, and it's just a case of making sure we get all we can get out of it. Alright guys, we're getting near the bottom. I got this little bit in the pan, and I got a little bit more in the bucket, and then we'll do a cleanup. Everything seems to be working pretty good except this little bit of water dripping off the edge here. And I think I've got a solution for that. You know, it's dripping off here. So, we'll see what happens. Probably got another 15 minutes because that much material where I can't run fast at all. And I'm at about 10.5 degrees now to get it to clear out right. And really slow feed. Maybe I can show you here. Let's see, give you a little bit closer look. There we go. Now it clears out of the hopper good. Up here. And it's clearing out down here in the indicator area. You see that indicator now? Let's see there. Let's look at it. And now you can see the black sand right here on the other side of those little circles. And it's coming down and it's clearing out here. So let me throw a scoop in. The left-handed scoop, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this. There we go. Now you can watch that come down. And it splits right here on that where the indicator mat would be in a regular type of sluice. But you can watch it exchange down here all the way across. It's pushing that material. And I think any faster than 3/4 speed on the water, or any more than 10.5 on the slope, I think you'd be losing any gold, because this isn't meant to be a cleanup sluice. It's meant to be a worker, so we'll see what we get. Alright guys, that's about an hour and a half for 1 gallon, which is a lot of time, that is. And you can see there's a little bit in this upper riffle, and not so much in the first one, but in the second one. We'll see what's in that. So let's get to cleaning this puppy up. Alright guys, first I'll show you how easy this is to clean up. All I did was set the water off so far. To undo the hose from the top, that's done. Now the bottom is real easy also, because I put this pin in down here. It's a little, I'm saying it's a 3/16. I think it's a 3/16, but I can't show you this because it's too dark, I'm sure. But you can see black sand here, and here, a little bit there. So we'll clean this up, we'll throw this in a pan, wash it out. Let that lay. We get a little bit of junk here. Throw in there. Okay, so that part's easy. Keep everything in one spot so I don't lose nothing. Okay, I'm going to clean up the hopper first. Again, I'm going to use a garden hose. I don't do this on the creek, but this is so easy. If I had a decent hose. That's it, that's done. Okay, that's done. So now, all I've got to do is get back up here where I was. Just pull my clamps. These don't come with it, they're mine. And that keeps the sluice in. So now we gotta just I know that looks like I'm losing stuff, but I'm not. It's just a little tricky sometimes to get this out of the rack. Right now I'm hooked on the crossbar. I think I did that the last time. There you go, sweetie. So I didn't see anything in the sluice, but that doesn't mean a whole lot, because there's a lot of black sand, and this is probably, well, it's probably 12 minus gold, I would guess. Okay, so now it's all in the pan. And we'll do that, get it out of the way. I think we'll pan right here in the tub like I did last time. I was going to pan in a separate pan, but I think we won't. I think we'll do this. Oh my goodness. I didn't think that would be that heavy. So there's all the tailings. So, I'll let you see some of this pan. I'm going to go with this little pan just because it has good riffles. Let me see if you can see me there. Okay, so here. That's a possible. Didn't really float. Let him go and we'll look at the rest. Oh yeah. There and there and there, there's three. This I'm not sure about either. It's not very shiny. So there's three. There's 4 or 5. They're not giants because they're 12 minus. 6. I just saw one in here. Oh man, there's a lot of color here. There's just a lot of color. It's every pan or every swirl. There's more. Let me shut that off and get you closer. Hey, that's about as close as I can get without getting too many shadows, and I'm probably going to be in my own light anyhow. But we'll try to get up here. If I could, let's do this. I don't know how much you're going to see. I can see nothing. Okay. Here, there, and here's 2 over here, 1, 2, 3 there, and all this up here is lead. And again, I'm not looking for anything big, but I didn't look what this peeled out here. There's 2 more and 1 there. And there's 2 more there, and another one, 3. I give up counting here. A lot of gold. Guys, this is the size of the scoop that I took out. And there's just a boatload of gold in it, and there's a speck right here. Now these are probably 50 to 100 minus. All of these. There's probably 10 of them right here. You probably can't see, but I don't think I can get them for you either. But it's so there's more gold in this that we're going to get out. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to clean up the rest of what's in the cleanup, because this is that partial scoop, and what's left is that. I've got all that to go through yet. So I guess what I'm going to say is, if you're throwing your black sand away after you're done panning, you're throwing gold away. Pretty much anywhere you go, but it's a lot of work to get it out, and I can't get any more out of this, and I know it's in here just because it's too hard to pan. So I've got a piece of equipment coming that will get it out, and it's a infinity cleanup sluice, and we will clean this up later on too to see just how much more there is in this, and we'll save this in that same blue bucket there. And we'll go through it again, and you'll see how much gold is in it and how much you're throwing away. So, and if you're thinking, well, why did you leave that much gold in your cons? When we're on the creek, what we're there for is to dredge and get as much material cleaned up out of the creek and into our box as we can. So we spend very little time cleaning up. If we run for an hour, we probably clean up for maybe 10 minutes. We get the black sand out of the header box and pick out all the bigger pieces that we can see with the eye easily, and if there's little specks in that there, they go in the black sand bucket like you saw me with here. So anyhow, I'll show you a snuffer bottle dump here after I clean up the rest of this today, and it's almost, I don't want to say it's almost too fine. It isn't almost too fine. It's a lot of work, but I'll do it. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm not going to show you any panning here, but I am going to show you, this is pan number 2. And I just got this up so you can't see it. So we'll load this up a little bit. So it looks like maybe we have one more big pan. We'll see. So the super sluice pan is empty. This is the balance of what we got. There were approximately 267 colors in pan 2 because I kept losing count because they're so small and the water would wash over them and they'd go away and they'd be back in the black sand. So they went through it one time. But 267, that's a lot of color, that's a lot of gold. Okay, I'm going to go through this one and we'll see what we get. Alright guys, I promised to do a snuffer bottle dump. It's been quite a while. Each pan took, it started out at an hour for the first one, 45 minutes for the second and the third one, so, and don't have near all the gold out yet. So there it is. I believe that's almost everything out of the bottle. Like I said before, it's they're not giant, but that's a lot of gold, buddy. Let me tell you, that is a lot of gold. It's so hard to get everything in the camera, but I have no idea how much that is. There's just a lot. Alright, that was for a 1 gallon bucket of cons. And I still have more to go through because I can't get the small stuff out until I get the new sluice. So we'll see the rest then. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, give it a really good comment. And thank you so much for watching. May the bottom of your pan be gold forever, just like this one.